So there's this video taken in Brazil that is going ultra viral right now of a UFO hovering in the sky. And this video has been labeled as the clearest UFO footage ever. So you already know, I gotta talk about it. I gotta react to it because aliens and UFOs are one of my favorite topics of discussion. Now, I've been looking into this video all morning, and as far as I can tell, it's real. But wait, let me explain. I'm not saying, hey, this is really aliens, this is a real UFO. What I mean is the video is real. As far as I can tell, it's not doctored, it's not AI, it's not CGI, it's not computer generated. No, there's really an object in the sky. Now, what that object is, I don't know. I can't tell you. But then again, that's why they call them UFOs, unidentified flying object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this footage. I want you to tell me what you think it is down in the comments below. And then after this footage, of course, I'll be back with more thoughts. So what say you folks? Is it a UFO? Is it something else? Some people were trying to say, no, that's a kite. Doesn't look like a kite to me. In fact, if you look closely, it almost looks as if this object, this UFO, it looks like it had landing gear that kind of like retracted. I don't know. It's like when you look closely, it almost looks like it had landing gear at one point. But, you know, we can debate all day over what this object is. The fact of the matter is that UFO sightings and alien activity, man, it's been off the charts in South America lately. And all we hear about is the stuff that is officially, you know, documented and reported. Most of this stuff that's going on over in South America goes undocumented. But there has been a real explosion, and it's funny because a lot of people believe that UFO sightings only happen in America. No, that could not be further from the truth. You might not hear about all of these other events and sightings across the world, but trust me, it's happening. And over the past decade or so, I mean, the UFO activity in South America, it's been off the charts. And I think there may be an explanation to it, a human explanation to some of these sightings. Do you all remember that story about the face-peeling aliens in Peru? There was this small village in Peru that were claiming they were being terrorized by aliens. Well, it turns out that those weren't aliens at all. They were people with jetpacks and what have you, and they were terrorizing this little village because they were trying to keep them away from going up a certain path to where there was this gold deposit. So what's happening is, I don't know if it's the U.S. government, I think it is, it could be anyone, But people are realizing that there's these gold mines, literally, like they're digging and mining for gold in certain parts of Brazil and certain parts of South America where they're not supposed to be doing this at. And they've been using technology, drones, jetpacks, or what have you, to scare off the locals by pretending to be aliens. Now, I know it sounds like something straight out of a Scooby-Doo movie, but all you got to do is use Google, do your research, or you can go back and check out my past videos about the face peelers, aliens in Peru, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I do believe a lot of the UFO activity over there is not really UFOs. It's people pretending to be aliens while they basically rob these areas of all their resources. They come in, they scare the hell out of the villagers, and then they go in and take all the gold or all the diamonds or all of whatever, resource they're looking for at the time. Now, I don't think that's necessarily the explanation for what we see in this video at all, but I'm just saying that's something that has been, for a fact, as weird as it sounds, it's something that has been factually happening in various parts of South America. And if it's happening in South America, I could only assume that it's probably happening in other areas as well. And they target these areas because these are small villages that don't really have much access to the outside world. They're not familiar with the type of technology that me and you are familiar with. So it's easy to fool these people. It's easy to scare these people. And it's really sad and horrific when you think about the fact that there's government agencies out here that are evil enough to go, scare indigenous tribes pretending to be aliens so they can go steal all of the gold and stuff that's basically in their land or on their territory or what have you. But as far as this thing floating in the sky, as I said earlier, as of right now, I can't prove that this is fake. The footage looks real. I don't know what that thing is. I'm sure we all have our own ideas, but the footage itself is real. So, it's, at least as far as I can tell. So going forward, we just got to figure out what this object is. And have we seen objects like this in the past? This doesn't look like a lot of the UFOs that we're used to seeing. But what do you all think? Do you think this is aliens? Do you think these are creatures from another planet? Or do you think this is the military? And as I was explaining how, these various governments are taking advantage of these tribes and going in and stealing gold and what have you, when they test out their military equipment, I don't think they're going to test out their brand new UFO, over New York City or LA. No, they're going to test it over here in these random parts of the world. Now, Brazil isn't necessarily random, but I think you get what I mean. If they did something like this in New York City, if something like this was hovering over New York City or LA, it would be a way bigger story that you couldn't get away from. But because it happened in South America, because it happened in Brazil, people are automatically going to go in skeptical because people are just skeptical about anything coming out of those parts of the world, right? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more stuff like this. I think moving into the future, as the topic of aliens and UFOs becomes more of an open discussion that we are having even in forms of government, they're having these discussions. I believe we're going to start seeing a lot of weird stuff. Some of that weird stuff may be from outer space, or it may be alien, or a lot of this stuff will probably be just technology that we've had for a while, but now we're bold enough to fly this stuff around out in the open. But you let me know what you think, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.